Coach Briana here to talk about water, coffee, and alcohol and their effects on the body when it comes to nutrition and exercise. So first we're going to touch on water and water's role in the body. So water helps hydrate the body, regulate body temperature, regulate your blood pressure, it lubricates the joints, and it helps with digestion efficiency. So bowel movements, getting everything out nice and smooth, and helping you, not become constipated, and removing waste, kidney function and health, so flushing the toxins out of the organs and the rest of the body. Of course, sweat. It carries nutrients and oxygen throughout the body. And of course, if you guys have any questions at any point, just let me know. So drinking water is important when it comes to fat loss. One, because you can, if you're someone who drinks juices, sodas, alcohol, you'll see that when you replace these beverages with water, that one, you're definitely decreasing calories, because water is it has no calories. So you're reducing your caloric intake as well as your sugar intake. And another tip is to drink water before you eat. So if you find that you're an overeater, you can drink a glass or two of water before you eat. A lot of times our brain will signal that we're thirsty or that we need to drink more water, and we confuse that with hunger. So we'll eat when really your body's saying, no, I'm actually thirsty, I need to hydrate, and then we'll end up overeating, trying to satisfy that hunger, and it takes us longer to realize when we're full. So if you take a few minutes before you eat, drink a glass of water, drink maybe two, give it a minute, and then eat, you'll find one, that signal's gonna go away, and then two, that you might not actually be as hungry and you'll eat less. Like I said, it's more so if you're an overeater. And then of course it just helps with your hydration. What else? You need water in order to break down fat. So that is called lipolysis.
Say that 3 times.
Right, that's a tough one. So lipolysis is the process of metabolizing fat to be used as energy. So you need adequate amounts of water in order to properly metabolize fat. So if you're not drinking enough water, then the body can't do what it needs to do to break down the fat and use it as energy. When you use that energy, that's burning calories, essentially. So you've got to take in water in order to burn fat. Any questions there? Good. All right, water and exercise. So when you exercise, of course, we get hot. And like I said, water's role is to regulate the body's temperature. So when we work out, we sweat, that's you releasing that heat from your body, and then also the sweat on your body is helping you cool down. So it's helping you keep your temperature regulated. And of course, when you're exercising, you want to replenish your water by drinking more water. When we don't drink our water, we see a lot of negative things can happen. You can start cramping, you'll feel different signs of dehydration. So you could feel dizzy, you could feel nauseous, lightheaded. You can become disoriented, confused if it's really that bad. Of course, thirst is a regular sign of dehydration. Other signs of dehydration that you might not see just in exercise are dark urine. So when you go to the restroom, when you take a peek at the toilet, don't have to, get a little comparison sheet or anything, but you can tell when you're hydrated if your urine is more clear or a lighter yellow, you're more hydrated versus a darker urine, of course. Or if you're not urinating enough. So if you're only going to the bathroom a few times a day, you're probably not drinking enough water. Other signs of dehydration are increased heart rate when you're working out. So if you feel like your heart rate is going just way too fast, that could be because you're not drinking enough water. If your exercise is feeling more difficult than usual, your perceived exertion is just like through the roof, then that's another sign that you need to drink more water. If you're feeling lethargic, or if you're feeling muscle soreness or cramping, or nausea and chills. So you want to watch out for those signs. Make sure that you're, just paying attention to your body and giving it what it needs. So some different tips to increase your water intake. I used to use an app. Now I do pretty well with drinking water, but I used to use an app. One that I recommend is called Water Reminder. So you can download it on your phone, and you can, it'll basically ping your phone and let you know, hey, it's time to drink some more water. And it'll do that maybe like every hour or every 30 minutes. And you can also track how much water you drink. So it'll give you basically a suggested amount of water, and you can change it if you want to, but it gives you a suggested amount of water based off of, I believe, your height and weight. And throughout the day, you can add, okay, I drank 8 more ounces of water. And you can even add like juice and coffee and things like that. So it won't take the exact amount. Like if you drank 8 ounces of orange juice, then it might add like 4, just because you have all that excess stuff in there. So that's a good way. Or you just set alarms on your phone yourself, just to say, just give you a little reminder to drink more water. Another way is to have a water routine. So that can be first thing in the morning, drink a cup of water. When you finish brushing your teeth, drink some more water. Or you can do like a little game or competition with yourself where, let's say you work at a desk all day, every time you get an email, take a sip of water. So just little things like that. What else do I have? Another good way to just kind of encourage drinking water is to get you a nice bottle or a cup that you like. So I carry this thing around all the time. It's got a fancy strap on it so I can wear it. That way I can remember to drink my water. Of course, we've seen the water bottles with the schedules on them. It's like, okay, it's 10 o'clock, you should have had this much water. And they have the little motivational blurbs. Those are always cool. And some people just like, the cups, maybe like a Yeti cup or something like that. So something that, is cute and fun and you can carry around and is easily accessible. What else? And then I always get, people who don't like drinking water. They say they don't like the taste. My initial reaction is suck it up. Or you can do different things like infuse your water. Some people do like the Mio, I think it's called, little droplets. You can do that, or you can infuse your water with fruit like, I don't know, watermelon, strawberry, any type of berries, lemon, cucumber's really good, mint. So that makes it, fancy, tastes a little fruity. Any questions about water? No? All right. Now we are going to move on to coffee and caffeine in general. So I know we have a lot of coffee drinkers. I'm definitely one of them. Yeah. So the thing with coffee is the caffeine, when we're drinking it, when you're putting it into your body, and what it's actually doing for your body and how it can work against you. So a lot of times we wake up, you're feeling groggy, we immediately go to coffee. We don't want to do that. First thing in the morning, you want your body to do its own thing, and you have your cortisol levels, which is your stress hormone. Not necessarily always, stress from like life, and stress doesn't have to be a negative thing, but stress is more like, well, it can be your alertness. So when you go straight to caffeine and you don't let your body do its own thing, then you're decreasing that alertness, and then you become dependent on the caffeine. So you want your body to wake itself up, give it time to do that. You want to wait at least an hour, maybe 2, before you get that first cup of coffee, because that can throw off your cortisol levels, and then that's a whole other thing, because cortisol levels can cause, when that goes up, when it spikes, that can cause you to retain water. It can cause you to be more anxious, more jittery. So you want it to do its own thing, get to its peak, and then when it kind of levels out, then grab you that cup of coffee to kind of keep you going. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Cool. So also back to water again. When you wake up, your body is already having to drink water for hours, most likely, unless you wake up in the middle of the night and take a sip. I do that. But if you're sleeping through the night peacefully, one, I'm jealous, but two, you haven't had water for hours. So you want to replenish the body, hydrate it right off the bat. So not only does that help with, keeping caffeine intake down, but it's going to help you get your water up immediately. So, back to our cortisol levels. So when we're increasing the cortisol levels with the caffeine, once again, we talked about this last week, our stress hormone it can cause weight gain, mostly in the midsection. So another reason why we don't want to keep increasing our caffeine intake. And that's caused because of our heart rate. When we interfere with our heart rate, it's interfering with the body's natural circadian rhythm and stress responses. So we want to keep our natural heart rate going. We don't want to interfere with it too much because, like I said, it's going to cause the cortisol levels to go up, throw things out of whack. And too much caffeine consumed at the wrong time can contribute to you feeling more stressed and anxious. So we want to limit our caffeine consumption to 400 milligrams daily, which is still a decent amount. So like I said, that's the very top. Anything more than that, you're going to cause yourself to feel jittery, anxious, and it can cause a lot of other issues, dehydration. What else?
How about is like for pre-workout? Would it be better to drink coffee before you work out? And I know a lot of the coffees, like at Starbucks and the specialty coffees, have a lot of fat and sugar in them.
Yes. So that is what we're going to get to next. Great question. So, drinking coffee and how to drink it. So, not saying coffee is bad for you or horrible for you. I love it and I'm going to drink it pretty much every day, but there's a certain way to drink it as far as times goes, like we talked about, an hour or two after you wake up or even midday, and then of course not too soon before bedtime. Usually I would say like 5-6 hours before you go to bed. Otherwise you might have issues going to sleep. Then when it comes to the types of coffee, what you put into your coffee, that's another big thing. So a lot of times we want to add sugar, we want to add creamer, and that's excess calories that we don't need, and excess sweeteners, artificial sweeteners that aren't good for our bodies. So a good substitute for sugar is stevia. So a lot of people use that. There's no calories, and it's still going to sweeten your coffee, but it's not going to give you, what am I trying to say? One, the calories, and two, it's not artificial, it's a natural sweetener, so that's better for you, which is also how you want your creamer to be if you're going to add creamer. So they have natural creamers and organic creamers, and I've tried a few recently, and I'm not a fan, but it all depends on how you like your coffee. So some people like to add, one, I would recommend doing dairy creamers, unless of course you're lactose intolerant. But the dairy creamers, most of them are going to be more natural, not have too many artificial sweeteners. But you always want to make sure you're looking at the ingredients, looking at the labels and everything, making sure there aren't, just toxins and artificial sweeteners that are going to contradict the entire goal here.
If you don't know how to read it, you have no idea what it is, then it's toxic.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Gotta be able to pronounce it.
You can't pronounce it. It's not exactly.
So yeah, or you can use, some people like almond or coconut creamers. Not my favorite, but try it out, you might like it. Does that answer your question?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
So yeah, when you do, the less stuff that you add to your coffee, the better. So when you're going to Starbucks or McDonald's and getting a frappe, whatever it is, there's gonna be all sorts of extra stuff that you don't really need. That's not gonna really contribute to the caffeine that you're going for. So The goal of drinking coffee is to, just give you that extra burst of energy, not all the excess flavor and taste. So use it what it's for, so that we're not consuming extra calories and, artificial flavors and sweeteners. Lastly, we have alcohol. So alcohol and working out just don't mix in general. And I understand that we're all adults and sometimes we like to partake in a little alcohol. But the big thing is knowing what alcohols are going to be less caloric and less detrimental to your training. So why alcohol and working out don't work is because when you drink, your body is not able to recover as efficiently as it would, if you weren't drinking. So when you're working out, when you're training, doing any type of resistance training, weight training, you're tearing muscle fibers, and when they repair from what you eat, what you consume. So if you're consuming alcohol, then your body's not able to repair itself properly. When it can't repair itself properly, that's when you feel soreness. And when you drink alcohol, that soreness is prolonged. It's harder to get past that. You're gonna feel sore longer because the muscles can't repair and they can't grow properly. So, some alcohol options to do. I recommend doing those on days that drinking on days that you don't train, and of course limiting how much you drink. So 1 or 2 drinks, like on the weekend, cool. Red wine, of course, is a better option. There are low caloric beers. I don't really know any brands because I don't drink beer.
I found this on the web.
Oh wow.
She's listening to you.
Oh my gosh. She's like, I got you.
Let me help you.
Right. So low caloric beers are going to be better than, I guess, some other beers. And then when you're drinking liquor, then you want to not do cocktails, mixed drinks. When you mix drinks, of course, you're adding juice, you're adding soda, you're adding whatever other sweeteners. You want to do more so just ice, if you can.
You can squeeze a
Or
little
some lemon, some
Yeah.
lime. There you
Yeah.
go. I don't know. If I'm gonna drink, I'm going hardcore. But anyway, so those are some different options. Then you have there's a lot of discrepancy in, like lighter alcohol versus darker. I think if you're cutting out any of the juice and soda, that's better anyway. But some people would say tequila or vodka are better options than like whiskey and whatever other dark.
I guess they're lower in carb, maybe?
Yeah, corn, right, the ingredients, it
Yeah.
makes a difference.
Yeah. So,
And dehydration, right?
yes, and right back to dehydration. So at the end of the day, we circle back to water. Gotta drink your water. Any questions? Cool. All right. Well, thank you for joining.
Thank you.